down here in the K-Wings locker room with head coach Nick Bootland. Coach, prior to the game, you and I were talking, and you discussed how they're coming off a game last night, and you guys, impromptu, but had the night off, and it looked like, for the most part at least, your team took advantage of that, particularly in the second period, and maybe up to about 7 or 8 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, I felt that second period was solid tonight. You know, the first period was back and forth, and we were able to capitalize on some on the power play and get the lead against them. And then the second period, I felt that we outplayed them. You know, only 3 shots against is probably a record for a period of hockey for us this season. So to keep that tight and be that tight was awesome. And then go into the third period, and obviously, you know, we got a little too wide open, and you know, smart play by them. You know, pulling a goaltender early, trying to create some excitement on his bench, try to get those guys up and going, and they gained a little bit of momentum off us with a power play goal, 6-on-4, and then they end up scoring the next shift right off the face-off with a fortunate bounce. So they got themselves back into the game. They had some life, and we just had to find a way to finish it off. And we have to learn to play in those situations. We have to learn to end games. We have to learn to finish periods. So there'll be some tape that we can watch that we'll all learn from as a group, and that only helps you leading our way to the postseason.
You mentioned the power play. A couple Sundays ago when Wheeling was in here, you had mentioned that you thought the power play was the reason the K-Wings had lost that game. Complete opposite here now, just 2 weeks later. What has changed on that unit for you guys?
Well, one thing you have to give props to the personnel, right? Add a guy like LaFranchise and a guy like Blaine on the back end, and both of them have great poise with the puck, and guys that distribute the puck well, know their outs, know their options when they get the puck, so they don't panic in those situations. And you know, it sort of puts us with 2 solid units now. You know, we're kind of in between when we don't have those guys. We have a unit and a half, and we're putting some players in some tough spots that they're not used to playing in, and they do well. I mean, they work at it. But these 2 guys have great poise, and that definitely helps your power play.
Beating the Indy Fuel, huge 4-point swing today. They came in with 1 point behind you guys in the North Division. Now you're up 3 heading into Wednesday's matchup with Fort Wayne. Just talk about how big of a game this was for you guys to come out of here with the victory.
Well, for them, 14 straight games on the road with a point, and we know that they're the hottest team in the ECHL right now. So it was a huge challenge for us tonight, and you know, I really felt like the schedule and maybe the ice mishap sort of gained an advantage for us tonight. So we had one last game. You know, we've been playing so much hockey lately, and now we turn around, and you know, we have 4-5 and 5-7. Next week, because we go Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. So we have a crazy stretch of games where there's not going to be a lot of practice time. It's just going to be play, and we got to make sure we're on the same page and try to have life.
Like we mentioned, we'll be back here Wednesday night versus the Fort Wayne Comets. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.